Like two are waiting. I'm guessing Ben and Carol. Say hello. Good afternoon to you. How's everyone today? I'm waiting to see. Nice day we got, I think. I've been out here watching the sun come up. Yeah, it feels good. Hmm. I don't think I turned on. I don't think I turned on my shadows either. All right. Three people here. Say hello. Genghis. Giant Haystack. Good to have you back. Good afternoon to you. Let's see. Wow, we got a few people. Say good afternoon. Something Genghis. Uh, didn't you mention rock cakes? I think it was you. One of my live streams mentioned rock cakes. Might have been Ben or Nathan, but Sue. Hello, how are you? Well, it looks like 7 people joining already. That's quick. Oh, it just went down to 6. Somebody was like, nah. It was you, Genghis. Okay, so I was baking last night, and I thought about making Christmas pudding, mincemeat pie, which Ben did send me a recipe for. I perused it yesterday, and man, I had so much. I had already baked so much. It was the last thing I was gonna bake. And if I'm honest, I looked at the Christmas pudding recipe, and it's got alcohol in it or something. I don't remember which. Let's see. It has something in it. I'm not gonna lie. I don't usually like desserts that have rum or bourbon or alcohol. I don't usually like those. So I didn't make that. The mincemeat pie was going to be kind of intensive because I was going to have to make my own filling. We don't have mincemeat pie filling like I think you do. You can just buy it in the store. Hello, Ben. Hello, Carol. Carol says her scones turn out like rock cakes. Anyway, those. So I thought of you, Genghis. I was like, somebody mentioned rock cakes. What are those? So I looked them up. They're easy to make. I was kind of tired of baking last night. So I made rock cakes. So thanks, Genghis. Let's see, Giant Haystack. You saw a video yesterday that you'll find fascinating. It was by a guy called Liam, and it's called Coast to Coast. It was recommended yesterday in the live stream by Carol. And I've seen that a few times in the comments as well. So stay tuned for an upcoming reaction to that, Giant Haystack. So anyway, Genghis, you inspired me to make rock cakes last night. And I haven't tasted them yet, and I'm about to. I'm going to post up later today a cooking video of me making the rock cakes, and then I think I'm just going to include a clip from this live stream maybe of me tasting them in that video if I can. So yeah, y'all get to see me taste rock cakes for the first time. They look good. The bake looks good on them. It looks like they turned out right. But I'll do that in a minute. Hello, Kim. Always good to see Kim and everybody else. So I'm just scrolling through. Yeah, it looks like a beautiful day. I'm way more relaxed today than yesterday. Yesterday was rough. That was rough. I was frazzled. You could tell, I think, in the video, in my live stream. But today, much more relaxed. I did bake late into the evening, early morning hours yesterday, and then I'm about to start cooking right after this live stream. Well, cheers to you, Genghis. but it's just way more relaxed. I'm going to be cooking up a mess of food starting right after this. But that I enjoy. Family will be here in a bit. I'll just put on some of my favorite records, get in the kitchen, start making dishes one at a time. It's quiet here, which I like. On Thanksgiving morning right now, the only people awake are the people that are cooking today. They're in their houses. So it's real nice and quiet, if you can tell. Except for the crows, Carol. I heard a few. Did y'all see that squirrel yesterday in the live stream that went through here? Did anybody see that? I saw it in the playback when I was watching. Keep your eyes peeled up in here. A lot of times squirrels. There's the crows, Carol. Well, I see that one. He went right by. So yeah, a lot more relaxed. I watched the sun come up. I really enjoy Thanksgiving. I like Christmas too, but Thanksgiving. I know you don't have it, but it's just a nice prelude to Christmas. It's a nice day to not have to worry about buying gifts, all the commercialization. There's no Thanksgiving tree to decorate. It's laid back. And I really love Thanksgiving. I wish y'all had something similar, just something between Halloween and Christmas is nice. And we got the perfect weather. It's the same as yesterday, about 6 degrees Celsius. Yeah, gorgeous. We got a few clouds, but the sun will burn that off. Thank you, Genghis, for wishing me happy Thanksgiving. So, my live stream today is kind of Thanksgiving-rific. I don't see Sean MC. I didn't know if he'd be in today or not, but I haven't heard from him, although I did email him this morning. So yeah, as you know, Sean, we couldn't get it together, and that's mostly my fault and my busy schedule. One thing to get Sean to guest host is we have to do a test to make sure the sound is right and the audio is right, and we have to do that obviously before we live stream. The only time I had available yesterday was right after my live stream, and he wasn't available until later when I wasn't available. Carol says, happy Thanksgiving. Yesterday was your late mother's birthday. She'd have been 113. What was the date yesterday? The 20 something, 8th, 7th, 6th. Well, happy heavenly birthday to your mother. 113. Well, thanks for wishing me happy Thanksgiving, Kim. I do appreciate it. And I know y'all don't celebrate, but 28th, Carol says. Happy Thanksgiving to all of you as well. Like I say, it's just a day to give things. No, not commercialized. It's nice to have just one holiday like that, It's not about buying things, except for food. So yeah, today, instead of Sean, you're going to have to listen to me blabber about Thanksgiving. So, I apologize. It was an easy topic for me to do today because I know a lot about the subject, and I was busy baking all night, so I didn't have a lot of time to prep. So I don't know how long this live stream will take. Coming up on my channel, Carol says, my ma'am remembered the First World War and her uncle who was killed. I think there was a typo. Oh, you fixed it. World War I, you meant? Yeah. The Great War. That's what they called World War I before World War II. Well, she remembered the First World War and her uncle who was killed. He was killed in World War I. Anyway, so upcoming on the channel, I love seeing your comments. I know, I try to address the ones directed at me. So later, out tomorrow on my channel is my reaction to Belfast, my first Northern Ireland reaction. I'm also interested in Ulster, so I will do a reaction to Ulster eventually. Later today, I'll put out the cooking video of me making the right cakes, and what you're about to see, a clip of me tasting the rock cakes. So y'all get to see it first. She says, your grandma was lucky all her brothers survived. And that is lucky, huh? So, and then after Belfast, the next day will come out Birmingham, which I was pleasantly surprised. I mean, I thought Glasgow looked. Y'all see that one that came out today? I thought Glasgow looked pretty amazing. And the one coming out tomorrow, Belfast, I was also impressed. It seemed like a unique, like its own. It seemed like its own entity. I don't know how else to describe it, but yeah, I was impressed with both of those. But yeah, Birmingham, much like Durham, I didn't know anything about those cities, and they kind of blew me away when I saw them. So Birmingham comes out in a couple of days. Anyone here from Birmingham in the live or in the replay comments? Let me know. Hats off to your city. I was impressed. Oh, Carol's telling me about he was blown up by all accounts. He is buried in. Oh man, do I gotta say that? Shawnee? British Cemetery, Northern France. Okay, well, thank you for his service. I mean, posthumously. But, that's what we say to all former service military in the U.S. when we find out they served. And that's a byproduct of how poorly we treated our Vietnam veterans. They really weren't welcome back here to the U.S. for various political reasons. They were sometimes shunned, and they were just soldiers fighting and doing what they were told. And so we kind of learned our lesson. Now, all service members are commonly thanked. Just when you meet them, when you find out. Sue says your son is in Birmingham. Is it nice? It seemed nice. Now, of course, I didn't see everything. It seemed nice, though. It seemed like a city I'd like. I like a fun city. It seemed like a fun city. Don't think there's much of him left. Oh, I'm sorry. Great Uncle George. Well, Great Uncle George, hats off to you for serving your country, giving the ultimate service. I missed that one, Sue. I'm not sure you were telling me something, but Douglas McKay, good to see you. We've been chatting a little bit in the comments, haven't we, Douglas? Isn't it possible for people from outside Birmingham not to do the accent when they meet a Brummie, right? Okay. I like that nickname too, Brummie. Kingy says, oh no, Sean, what? Did I miss something? I don't see Sean in the chat yet. Try to do the accent, Douglas said, no. Yesterday I accidentally tried to imitate Michelle's accent. Then I immediately regretted it. I was like, why did I do that? Yeah, I'm not good with accents. Not good with accents. I can say that to you, Douglas. Yeah, I think that's Douglas's first time. Y'all tell him hello. I think it's his first time in the live stream, but we have been, me and him been chatting back and forth in the comments. Okay, Carol says, Sean is at the hospital with his wife weighing kidney pumps. Yes, I did know that, but I didn't want to, I'm glad you found out and can tell everybody. I just felt awkward about it, you know. So he's still there today, huh? Okay. I didn't know that, but I knew that was going on. So thanks for the info, Carol, and telling everybody else. I'm sure you chatted with him. It's okay. I just felt weird being asked yesterday, and he hadn't said one way or the other. He hadn't said don't tell anybody, or he hadn't said go ahead and tell people. So I just wanted to not betray any confidence he might have been giving me. Yeah, his wife, not Sean. Sean's fine. I did tell you all that. Sean is fine, but yeah, his wife. Oh, he just posted that somewhere, Carol, and you saw it? Okay. Oh, hey there. Okay, Sean, now I saw you. I didn't see it. Kidney stone damage, Wayne, but wanted to pop in. Okay, yes, Sean. Yeah, we were talking about you. I sent you an email, Sean, when you get a moment. I know you're busy, but when you get a moment, we're still going to schedule you back into the live stream when you can. So yeah, just whenever, no rush, whenever. I did send you an email this morning. So Sean may be popping off. It looks like he's saying talk soon. Originally we had him scheduled to take over the live stream today, but it just didn't work out. But we'll get it. We'll get it as soon. I feel like as soon as you can, Sean. I'm down. If you need a week or a month, whatever you need, but I'm down as soon as you are. I'm glad you popped in. Yeah, glad you popped in. And yeah, prayers to you and yours. It's another thing to say in the U.S., but prayers to you and yours. All right, so, you know, should I just try these cakes? What do you think? I got one sitting right here. It is early, but I am a little hungry. You want to see the right cakes? I mean, I think I know you do, right? There's usually a delay before I get your comments back. But you do want to see me try them, don't you? So let's get going. Yeah, Kim says go on. So I just got one on the plate here now. Before I show you these, for this one, I haven't tasted them, never had them before in my life, but this is not your traditional recipe that I saw online, okay? I messed with it. I made it Thanksgiving-y, all right? And some of you know I cook with a theme on Thanksgiving this year. It's honey. And so I incorporate honey anywhere I feel like I can in both my main dishes, my side dishes, and my desserts. So I did mess with your recipe. They look good. It looks perfect. I mean, it looks like it's a good cook. The recipe I was using said it made 12 rock cakes. I made them probably too big because I made 7 out of that recipe. But hey, everything's bigger in Texas. So these might be a little bigger than you're used to seeing. And what I did differently in the recipe is I used only dried cranberries for the fruit, which is a very Thanksgiving thing, cranberries. So I'm calling these the first ever Thanksgiving rock cakes. I wonder if anyone else ever had rock cakes on Thanksgiving, but so they're a little bigger than I think yours normally are. I used cranberries, that's the only dried fruit. I used orange zest, which I don't think you usually put in yours, and I used honey. So these are cranberry, orange, honey rock cakes. So here we go. They look like this. You can always tell a good, the way I like to check something like this is it burnt? It's not burnt. So I think the bake on it is pretty good. I got 7 of these, but I got a mess of other desserts. But so I don't know. Yeah, it said that Carol says that's a rock. It said that they should be hard on the outside, at least, and golden brown. So I feel like I nailed the bake anyway. I think they are bigger than yours, maybe, because like I said, it said I should have got 12 out of this, but I got 7. So the Texas sized. Watch them crows, huh? Nah, they don't usually. They might. Your seagulls would come. I'd have to be scared. All right, so let's. Ooh, break one open. Does that look right in there? I think that looks pretty good in there. Hard on the outside, but it looks like it's soft in the inside. So I'm gonna try it. Again, this was inspired by you, Genghis. Inspired by you. You said you liked them. I remembered that. Let's see what they taste like. Mmm. Mmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. Mmm. They remind me of, they have kind of a sandy texture, not in a bad way. Is that how it should be? Yeah, they remind me of a few other, we would call something like this a cookie. They remind me of a few other cookies we have that kind of have that sandy, sweet texture. Cranberries, orange zest, and honey. Mm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we have a cookie. Sorry, it's hard to talk and eat. We have a cookie that's called Sandy's, and it has that kind of texture inside, like a sandy cookie. So this part right here is soft, but the outside is hard. I think I did that right. I want to eat the whole thing, but I gotta talk. I think my son will like that because he likes orange cranberry. Oh yeah, with some tea, Ginga says. Is that the way to do it? Ooh, Carol says put a bit of butter on them. Okay. Now these aren't hot. I cooked them last night. I don't know if you normally have them warm or not. You could let me know. But these are just, I baked them last night, put them in a container, left them out on the table with some tea. Douglas hadn't had a rock cake since I was 6 or 7. You can taste the burn bit. So were they burnt? Are they supposed to be burnt? These aren't burnt. These taste good. Butter works with them as they are very savory and sweet. Well, see, I put honey. I put honey, cranberry, and orange zest in them. A Grinch. Thank you for wishing me happy Thanksgiving. I hope you have a great day. Oh, Carol says these are better after 24 hours. Well, I did finish them early this morning or late last night. So yeah, they're pretty fresh. I like them. We would call something like that a cookie. I know, we call different things different. I'll call cookies biscuits. I guess y'all don't have biscuits like we do. I'm gonna make biscuits this morning. But I like them. Again, not your traditional recipe, which I saw had currants and mixed dried fruit, no honey and no orange zest. So I messed with it, but well, Latish, welcome back and thank you. Always good to see you here. There's much scone as a biscuit. What these? Douglas is saying that these rock cakes are as much a scone as but they're sweeter than a scone, aren't they? I mean, we do have scones here. It's much sweeter than a scone. I'm doing great, Latish. How are you? So that's my tasting video. I'm gonna try to clip that part of me tasting from my live stream and couple it with the video of me making these and post that up later to my regular channel. So that'll be my second baking, cooking, British food videos and tasting them. So alright, how'd I do? What do y'all think? Some of y'all commented already. Look like I made them look okay anyway. Were they too big? Bigger than you normally make them? Like I said, the recipe called to get a yield of 12 out of those. But they look tiny when I did that. They look so small. I didn't want to go with it that small just for my family trying them. They would have wanted something bigger. Letitia, like my voice. Yeah, thank you. Appreciate that. Never be too big. Okay, Carol. I was wondering if y'all because it appeared like maybe these were meant to be small and that maybe children enjoy them. But I don't know. I'm just reading stuff. I think it was worth cooking the rock cakes. I guarantee you they'll be gone by the end of the day. It's Thanksgiving, and it's the only kind of what we call a cookie. It's the only cookie I made, which normally I'll make at least one type of cookie at Thanksgiving. And this year it's Texas-style Thanksgiving rock cakes. Well, hello. Your name is AmericanReactstotheUK. Okay, good to see you. And Kim agrees they can't be too big. All right, then. I did okay. You still worried about the crow spot? No. What do crows eat? Don't they eat like bugs and stuff? I think they do. Worms, if they can find them. Yeah, I don't think the crows will come for that. But if they do, we'll get a show, won't we? Yeah, y'all see, if a crow tries to take my rock cake, that's a battle to the death. One of us has got to go. Y'all may be a witness to something if a crow comes for that. But all right, so I'm gonna get going here with a little bit more of my Thanksgiving talk. I don't have too much, so crows eat everything, bugs to carry. Yeah, I think that's probably right. So, what we do, in case you're wondering what we do on Thanksgiving, what my day will be like, of course, I'll go inside, I'll start cooking, well, I gotta make my grandma's yeast rolls, so those have to get started first so that they can rise and then, go in the oven later. Now, my grandma's yeast rolls are the star of the show because much like I think you do with Christmas and you got all that leftover turkey, you make sandwiches, right? We do. And so my grandma's yeast rolls are not only great with the Thanksgiving meal, they're also great to make sandwiches out of later. Now, the recipe I use, my grandma's recipe, they yield a whole mess of yeast rolls, but what I'll usually do is split it in half, and I'll use half of the yield to make yeast rolls, and I'll use the other half to make a loaf of bread. I won't serve the loaf of bread for Thanksgiving, but for those turkey sandwiches later, that bread is good. So it's kind of the star of the show that everybody likes that I make. What else I'll be making today is a honey glazed turkey, obviously. I'll be making mashed potatoes from scratch, which we always have, traditional. I'll be making sweet potato casserole, also a traditional dish. You may have seen that before. Generally, Americans put marshmallows on top. I do not. But it's not bad with marshmallows. I just prefer not to. So I'll be making that today as a side dish. A couple of salads, one with fruit, one more traditional salad. I'll be making cranberry sauce from scratch. Everything I'll make is from scratch. I'll be making green bean casserole, which is traditional. I'm not a big fan, but a lot of people seem to like it. Ben's asked, do people make bubble and squeak in America? Mm-mm. I never heard of that. I mean, some folks might squeak, but no, I don't know what bubble and squeak is, Ben. You have to tell me. So also on the menu today, I'll make, okay, so green bean casserole. If you don't know what that is, it's green beans. I'll use fresh. A lot of Americans use canned. And then it's with cream of mushroom soup in the green beans. A lot of people use canned. I'll make my cream of mushroom soup from scratch this morning. And so it's green beans, cream of mushroom soup. Then it's topped with crispy French onion, crunchy. I don't know if you know what those are. They're like crunchy onions that come in like a little, you buy them at the store. And then those are sprinkled on top for texture, and then it's baked. So that's what green bean casserole is. Most everybody in America will be eating that today, along with sweet potato casserole. Of course, we have corn on the cob, as that is also a traditional Thanksgiving side dish. We leave it right on the cob. That goes back to the very first Thanksgiving, where they think corn was probably served. Yeah, and beans on toast. I mean, that sounds okay. I'll probably taste that, try that someday in a live stream. Fried onions, you can find big bags of them here. Yeah, these don't come in a bag. They come in like a round, I don't know, y'all have Pringles cans where it's like a round cardboard. That's what our French onions come in, crispy onions. But they might be similar. Yeah, I don't know what bubble and squeak is. Kim has it on a Monday. Yeah, I don't know what that is. Basically, it's leftover potato and cabbage and other leftover veg fried up. Huh. Potato, cabbage, and other leftover. That doesn't sound bad. Now, oftentimes, I immediately wonder, well, why? Some of you are saying, why is that bubble and squeak? Y'all are inventive with your slang for stuff. I always wanted to have some kind of like relation. But usually when I ask you that question, like, why do you call it that? No one answers. So I think maybe it's just, okay, it bubbles and squeaks as it fries, hence the name, okay. Trying to think if I ever heard anything I was cooking squeak. I'd be nervous if it did squeak when I was cooking it. But I think I get, oh, the cabbage, okay, the cabbage. Ooh, now when Kim just said with a fried egg and bacon, now that probably is the coup de grace to that dish. If you put a fried egg on anything, it's good, isn't it? Anything. That might be something I might try to make. Bubble and squeak. Is it bugle and squeak, or is that a typo, Douglas? You said a bugle. He says buggle. Buggle and squeak is good. It can be cabbage or potato. That might be a typo. Because I think everybody else typed bubble. Oh, yeah, you corrected it. Dean, Douglas. Like a patty, okay. All right. So, let's see, I was rolling through all I got to make today. I will make not a traditional dish, but I like for Thanksgiving. I'll be making honey glazed Brussels sprouts with pecans. So good. And I will incorporate honey into my sweet potato casserole. Of course, I'll serve honey on the table with our dinner rolls. And I got a wide selection of honeys for that: wildflower, clover. Honey is my theme this year. And then yesterday I baked a honey apple pie invented in England. I added honey to mine. I made a honey pecan pie, Texas is the largest grower of pecans in the States, by the way. And I made, this is last night what I baked. I baked uh, pumpkin pie, which a lot of times I'll make sweet potato pie, but instead I made pumpkin pie. It's very traditional. I made the rock cakes. I made, this is just something my family likes. I made nanner pudding. Y'all like nanner pudding, banana pudding? So good with them little wafers. It's really, really good. That's a southern thing. Not necessarily a traditional Thanksgiving, but the South loves it. Nanner pudding. I made the rock cakes, as you know, last night, and I made baklava because also not a traditional dessert for Thanksgiving, but my theme is honey, and if you've had baklava, it's a honey-based dessert. Kings, you like pumpkin? Yeah. Pumpkin just tastes like the spices that are in it. Like, pumpkin by itself really doesn't have a flavor. It's just like you would spice it all up with all the spices, and then it tastes good. Douglas says pecans are great, walnut family, so they are probably healthy to eat. Yeah, pecans are real healthy to eat. They naturally grow in Texas, but we also commercially grow them. There's I can pick up pecans down the street. There's pecan trees all around. Lynn, well, Lynn, thank you for joining us. The first time I've seen you in the live stream. Carol, I see you've already welcomed Lynn. So yeah, everybody tell Lynn hello. Good to see you, Lynn. We enjoy having some new people come for sure. So nice to have you. Nice to have you. She's from the UK. Where are you from? I mean, you don't have to say, but where are you from in the UK? I'd love to know. So and then what we do on Thanksgiving, basically, uh, we'll have our meal usually at a weird time, like the time when you would never eat, like around 2 or 3. I don't know why we do that. We just serve one big meal in the middle of the day on Thanksgiving, and that's it. Then you can snack on whatever you want later. So you like baklava? It's not that hard to make. I made it last night. Oh man, we got lots of honey. When you say you're gonna have a honey, I do got like 6 different honeys to put on the table. Yeah, and I did use a lot in all my dishes where I could, where I could. I couldn't use it in like I didn't think it'd go good in a green bean casserole, but where I could, I did use it. Douglas knows some people in Texas. They live in very different ecologies depending on where they live. It's surprising. I mean, yeah, with the diversity in the U.S. is pretty vast. Pretty vast. Lynn likes my draw. Northeast near coastal town of South Shields. Okay. Northeast. Okay, I know exactly what you're talking about in the area. All right, I'll check that out. Carol says, did I know that honey is basically bee vomit? Yeah, it is. It's the most delicious vomit I ever tasted. But I haven't tasted too much. Texas seems to love parades. Well, we got our fair share of parades. They'll be big. Today's the parade in New York City, Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. That'll be rolling. It's already probably started. That'll be rolling on everybody's TV while they're cooking. Everybody watches the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade in New York City broadcast. That's on most people's TV, and then later it's a day for the NFL. Everyone will be watching the NFL later. I don't know if you know, but only 2 teams traditionally host games on Thanksgiving. Those 2 teams are the Dallas Cowboys and the Detroit Lions. Now, they don't play each other. They play 2 other teams that change every year. But every year, the Dallas Cowboys, the Detroit Lions host a game at their home stadium on Thanksgiving, and that's it. The NFL doesn't allow any other teams to host games. And So yeah, the local Dallas Cowboys always play on Thanksgiving. I'm not a big fan. I don't even know who they're playing. I haven't watched a game all year, but my family will be over and it'll be on the TV later. Uh, you know, it's fine. But yeah, pretty much the TVs today will be the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade and then NFL. So I'm gonna stop talking about Thanksgiving sort of and do just a little bit about Squanto because I put it on my thumbnail. Squanto, if you've heard of him, let me know. Uh, Squanto was a Native American, and he's related to the first Thanksgiving, and he lived in England. So that's why I'm going to talk about Squanto today. Now, we have a few famous Native Americans that you probably have heard of. I think, Carol, one time you mentioned to me that, did I know Pocahontas was real? Yeah, yeah. Most Americans know Pocahontas isn't just a Disney movie. She was real, and she's famous, obviously. Uh, the most honored Native American probably in the U.S. is Sacagawea. Now, if you don't know who that is, and you think, let me try saying that when you look at it. Sacagawea is super famous in the U.S. She was a guide to the explorers Lewis and Clark, and she helped them get all the way across the U.S. as they eventually made their way to the West Coast. So she was their guide, and she's even on our U.S. money. She is on our $1 coin. She's the only Native American to be on U.S. money. She's on our $1 coin, Sacagawea, very famous. And then, of course, we've got some more infamous characters like Geronimo and Sitting Bull. Sitting Bull, if you don't know who that is, he kind of tried to lead. The trouble with the Native Americans is they were fighting individually by tribes. Sitting Bull, he tried to pull them all together, which was a smart move on his part. Instead of just tribes fighting independently, lacking in numbers. So these are a few famous Native Americans. But Squanto lived in England and learned to speak perfect English. And here's his story. He was born in 1580 near Plymouth, Massachusetts, or what became Plymouth, Massachusetts. He was from the Patuxet tribe, and he's best known, as I said, for being an early liaison between Native Americans in southern New England and the Mayflower Pilgrims. Sorry, I like to read the ingredients when I can. Weren't Lewis and Clark English? Yeah, they were. Well, I mean, they weren't born in England. Didn't they map out the 49th parallel? Well, they mapped out almost all of the West. That's what they were doing with the Indian Sacagawea as their guide. They were just heading west, trying to find passages, trying to find, they were really hoping to find one river like the Mississippi that went east to west that you could hop on and use like a super highway. There's not one. There's a few that you can put together, but there's not one that goes east to west. That's kind of what they're looking for. So I wonder if anyone has heard of Squanto, just let me know. I'm just curious because he did live in England, so I don't know if you guys have heard of him there. But anyways, born in 1580, and here's what happened to him. In 1614, John Smith, you know that name, right? In 1614, John Smith sailed along the coast of New England, what would become New England, because this is 1614. He sailed along the coast fishing and trapping, okay? He returned home in one ship and left Thomas Hunt, I don't know if you know this Englishman, Thomas Hunt, in command of a second ship. Hunt decided to add human cargo, to add value to what he already had of fish and furs. So he captured 20 Native Americans and hauled them off and sold them in Spain. So this character, Thomas Hunt, he had a bunch of furs and fish, and he rounded up a few Native Americans and went and sold them into Spain. This included Squanto. So what happened in Spain, we don't really know, but somehow he escaped and made his way to England. So he escaped slavery in Spain, made his way to England. He lived in England. Let's see, I'm trying to see what year. He lived in England for quite a period of time. And he learned to speak perfect English from you folks. And, okay, here it says, so that was in 1614. He returned to New England in 1619. So for 5 years he lived in Europe, some in Spain and some in New England. He's probably, at the time, the most traveled Native American, right? Yeah, John married Pocahontas, yeah. So John Smith did not enslave him. It was Thomas Hunt who John Smith left in charge of a ship, but it wasn't John Smith. Okay, so he returned. Squanto returned in 1619 to New England with Thomas Dermer, who was a British sea captain, as his interpreter, because again, he'd learned to speak English in England. When he returned, his entire tribe, the Patuxet tribe, was all dead from disease. He was the only one left from his tribe when he returned to New England. Maybe it saved his life that he got enslaved, because everyone else died, but still, it's got to be devastating, right? You get enslaved, sold to Spain, you escape to England, you finally convince someone that you're a great interpreter, please bring you back to New England. You get there and everyone's gone that you knew. Douglas, you've heard of this? That's right. So the Pilgrims, when they arrived, met an English-speaking native. It blew their mind. He became a sailor in the British, and he said, that's right. Okay, so Douglas does know. I'm not going to read all that. Y'all can read what he's saying, but yeah, this is Squanto's story. Yeah, I'm not sure how long it took to sail the Atlantic back then. Probably depended on storms. So now he's back where he started, and he was born originally in what became Plymouth, Massachusetts. The Pilgrims landed, and like, here's this Native American that could speak English, and a lot of the tribes, you know, were ready to go to war. They were already dying from disease, and he kind of brokered the peace because he spoke both languages with the local natives, even though his tribe had already been destroyed by disease. He kind of brokered the peace and allowed for the first Thanksgiving to happen. He's kind of responsible for that, where the Native Americans and the Pilgrims had a meal together, and that's what started. So he's kind of responsible. If he wasn't there and spoke English, there probably would have been a lot more fighting and a lot less getting along. And that's really it. There's a lot more to his story if you want to look it up, but that's how he was involved. Sorry, I was watching this dog. This dog's looking at me. There it goes. There's a dog right there. It wasn't on leash, which is illegal here, but he was looking at me. Okay, so that is story of Squanto. Interesting, I don't know. I'm trying to tie in England and our Thanksgiving somehow. That's what I came up with. I've been a big fan of Squanto in the past. His real name was Tisquantum, but they call him Squanto. Now, there's a few things, you know, the story of Squanto is told by us. So there's, you know, how much you can trust it, we don't know. There's a few things. He got sick and died. Some people say he was poisoned by other Native Americans because they started not to like him. His own Native Americans were like, man, this guy, he's friending up with the English, and he's not helping us, he's hurting us. And so the Native Americans poisoned him, but he got sick and died. The story is that he completely converted to Christianity, and his dying words were that he's so happy he gets to go to an Englishman's heaven. That's probably not true. But it was propaganda to be used like, look, we're converting the natives. We're successful. Look at Squanto. He's a full-on Christian now. I don't know if that's true. But that is how we wrote the history of Squanto. But that's Squanto and Thanksgiving. What do y'all think? I see y'all are talking amongst yourselves, but hopefully that was all right. I just try to tie in England and Thanksgiving somehow. And that's the only well, I mean, I guess all the pilgrims are English. But so y'all kind of started this. Too bad you don't celebrate there. Y'all mind, this rock cake staring me in the face. Y'all mind if I just take another little bite? Mm. That is good. That honey, orange zest, and cranberry, and the texture, that is good. I'm kind of proud of that. That is good. I guarantee you, they're gonna get eat. Now you said tea. We would dip that maybe in milk. Have a big glass of cold milk with that. That's what Americans would think. I guarantee you, some of my family's gonna grab a big cold glass of milk. Maybe dip that in milk, drink it with milk. Yeah, what happened to Roanoke Island, Carol says? They all disappeared. The lost colony, we call it. Carol knows about stuff. So Roanoke Island, Carol mentioned, yeah, that y'all sent over a bunch of settlers. And when they came back to check on them, they were all just gone. But also, y'all left them hanging because they were supposed to come back for them or check on them in like a year, but y'all got cut off fighting France in wars and didn't come like you were supposed to. And then when you finally did, no one's here. Yeah, Genghis, why do people want to convert other people? You know, the pilgrims are very religious. That was their whole thing. I don't really think they converted him. I don't think so. I don't think his dying words was like, I'm so happy I can go to an Englishman's heaven. I don't think so. I doubt that's true. I think that's propaganda that got passed down because they were trying to say, look what we did, look what we did. Yeah, Roanoke Island was a big, big mystery. Kim, you dip some ginger biscuits in milk or in tea? Roanoke Island, yes, an island. Mm-hmm. It's just off the coast of North Carolina. What is North Carolina now? Yeah, there's no, not only were they gone, there just was nothing. There's like no, didn't look like anyone had been there. They probably all just died, maybe disease or famine. Like I said, they were supposed to come back and bring more supplies and check on them, but I think they didn't. They're supposed to come back in like a year. They didn't come back for like 3 years or something. So yeah, they didn't make it. They say y'all got caught up fighting France like you always do. Didn't have the time or the effort to go back and check on the colony at Roanoke. With milk, Kim? Yeah, these go with milk. I'm telling you. Huh? I got a good bake on that, huh? I could prove because it's not burnt. It's not burnt on the bottom. Apparently they reckon the settlers assimilated with the natives. That's what some people say. They left a cryptic message that, yeah, there was a pinned on a tree, not pinned, but carved in a tree or something. But we don't know for sure. Snake Island, you find absolutely fat. I'm not sure what Snake Island is. I'm full of snakes. I don't like snakes. I'm gonna pass on an island full of snakes. I've had snake encounters. I stepped on a copperhead once. I can't believe it didn't bite me. I've had cottonmouths, water moccasins try to get in my boat when I was fishing. I'm not a fan. Of course, I've encountered rattlesnakes. You know, if you stay clear of a rattlesnake, you're pretty safe. Water moccasins. They're aggressive. Gingy says you can't travel there, probably for good reason. Who wants this? Who wants an island full of snakes? Yeah, that's right, Carol. It is noticed that some see, but a lot of it. She's saying it after Roanoke. It's noticed that some of the natives are quite fair, maybe descendants of mixed marriage. It's the same with Squanto's history. Yeah, it's written down. How accurate is it? You know, history's told by the survivors, but it's not always accurate. Maybe it was a cool story. Oh, look, they're kind of light skinned. I bet they're descendants of the. If they're descendants of them, then what happened to the? Right. You know what I mean? Like if they mixed with them, if they mixed with the natives, well, then what happened to the originals? They didn't just die. They mixed it. You see what I'm saying? Like if they mixed with them, that means they were alive. I don't think they made it. I don't think they made it. They didn't have enough supplies. They didn't get resupplied as planned. I don't think they made it. I think they just died. Maybe they were killed by the natives, but I don't think they breeded with them. But that is a story. Carol knows quite a bit about history. So I mean that's about an hour. I think I'm at the end of my live stream. Yeah, Ben's talking about Snake Island too. Y'all are creeping me out. Whew. I don't like snakes. Yeah, Carol says we'll never know. But that probably went further away to start again. Yeah, they might have gone inland. It's not, Roanoke Island. It's not like you can't get. Probably at low tide, maybe you can walk across to the mainland. It's not like in the middle of the ocean. It's I think what we call Channel Islands, just right off the coast. You could probably make a dinghy and sail over, swim over at the right time, maybe. They're just right. It's right off. It's right off the mainland. But hopefully, I didn't bore you. As I said yesterday, what's so great about Thanksgiving is we all take time. It's a tradition in the U.S. A lot of families will do this today before we eat our meal. When we sit down to the table, we'll go around and we'll thank each other for what we've done for each other throughout the year. We'll say something that we are thankful about, and we do keep that tradition. Just using the day to be thankful. It's why I like the holiday so much, because like I said earlier, it's not commercialized. You don't buy any gifts for anybody. It's just about eating and family and being thankful. So, like I said yesterday, I'm thankful for all of you, all of my subscribers, everybody who's watching live, everybody who's watching in the replay. Some folks haven't been with us lately that I do think about. Maria, I haven't seen you today, but maybe you're watching in the lives. Katie, I haven't seen you lately, but you might be watching in the lives. June, you told me that you've been watching in the lives. I haven't seen Amanda, ABH. I haven't seen Amanda in a bit. Brain with Logic. But maybe you're watching in the replay or just watching my channel still. Some of the folks I haven't seen today: Roy Cousins, Sean Nicholson, Sean SSC, everyone, everyone, all you subscribers, all you people that I've gotten to know, I'm thankful for. And of course, I'm thankful for Carol, Ben, Kim, Nathan, Sean MC. Let's keep our thoughts with him today. Thankful for Genghis, who inspired the rock cakes today. I'm thankful for Sue, Douglas. I'm thankful we've connected and you joined the live stream. I'm thankful that the comments we've exchanged over on my page. And Did I say Sue? I'm just scrolling, Kim. Lynn, it was great to have you here. I'm always thankful to see someone new in the live chat. The Grinch. Always thankful for the Grinch, which is a weird sentence to say. But I truly am thankful for you, the Grinch. I'm scrolling. I don't want to miss anyone today in my goodbye because I want to thank everyone. If I did miss anyone, apologize. Avi Yuck, Avi Yucked, thankful for you if you're still in the stream. Latish, thankful for you. If you're still in the stream, I think I got everybody. I'm sorry if I didn't. Enjoy your day today. I certainly will. I mean, I do got a lot of cooking to do, but I like it, and I will enjoy my day, and I hope you do too. And I guess that's it. Wayne signing off from Dallas, Texas. Happy Thanksgiving.